when I moved to London, I was just very interested in how, even though they speak the same language as us, even though our countries have a lot in common, there's also a lot about the cultures that's so different, and what it was to be an American girl sort of let loose in the UK, and also to obviously fall in love with someone from the UK and see what our similarities were, and also the ways where communication could be slightly confusing considering we are technically both speaking English. And so that was kind of the jump off point for the show, and obviously my husband worked on it with me. So while there is a lot that's personal, it then, once you start writing, it takes on a life of its own. So it's by no means, a rip from the headlines, true story, but like in all my work, there's always a germ of something. I think whenever you watch the person you love doing what they love, you learn a lot about them, and you learn that it's inspiring, it's compelling, you have fascinating sort of debates. I wouldn't say we had arguments, but you have debates, you find what speaks to each other, what doesn't, and so it just brought us closer, and I love being able to go to work with him, so I feel really lucky. I think that my approach is just that because I had some time away, I really got to learn how do I like to work as a director, as a writer, how do I like to work with actors, and then you trust yourself in a different way when you're 38 than you do when you're 24, which is how old I was when we shot the Girls pilot. So just that additional life experience helped me to walk into it with a kind of confidence that I just didn't even know to have when I was younger. And I think that's the real beauty of aging, as I can say, as I'm a year away from 40, is knowing yourself and knowing what you're about and knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're not good at and being able to ask for help. Like, those are all skills that came about in the last 10 years. Like everything I write, it's complicated, there's darkness, there's humor, but I hope that people find it loving and joyful and that it leaves them feeling some hope. Like, I was a person who didn't necessarily think like relationships, marriage would be in my cards, and I always joke to my friends, like, if I can find someone to marry, you can too. But I think I wanted to create something that had hope, not just romantic hope, but hope for human connection, for human understanding. I feel like that's what the world needs now. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. I've been coming to Tribeca since I was a kid. Jane Rosenthal, who helped found the festival with Robert De Niro, is a close friend of our family. So I would come, my first ever film screenings were I remember going to like the premiere of The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood and thinking in like 7th grade and thinking like, I'm the fanciest person who's ever lived. I just went to Tribeca Film Festival.